everyone, and welcome to the Lonely Marks Wrestling Podcast here on the Lonely Marks Wrestling Podcast channel. I am Austin Howell, your host, and with me, as always, is Richie Goodacre. Richie, how's it going? Long time no see.
Yeah. I just spoke to you almost. Get going good. Here to talk some wrestling. That's a retro rumble, which is always a good time of year to do. Yeah, pay review, and yeah, it was a good show. We'll get into it, and yeah, first fantasy. See what happened there, and yeah, no, good. Looking forward.
Yeah, no, I'll have the first round of our fantasy scores. Jacob Barber was kind enough to drop me his point scoring system, so he has passed that on to me. We did our roster last week. We all drafted 6 male superstars, 3 females, a wild card, and 2 tag teams, getting ready to go for the WWE. So we'll see how everybody did this first week. We certainly had some interesting scores going into this one, some big swings. So we'll see how that goes. We will cover all the latest news and articles and whatnot. But we're going to do that a little later because JPO will be joining us here hopefully in about an hour or so. He is catching the very first episode of Impact on AMC. Yes, TNA Impact had their first AMC episode this evening. So he was watching, I'm sure, just to see if there's anything big or noteworthy, and he can report back on how that went when he gets here. But yeah, he'll be here in an hour. But in the meantime, we do have something we can do instead because we decided to do around this time. We always do kind of a retro one of these big pay-per-views. So we're going to do a retro rumble, and we spun the wheel of rumbles last time, and much like we did the previous episode, we got another one from the 90s, and one that I don't think I've actually seen all the way through. I may have seen this rumble at some point, Richie, maybe in the past, like or maybe some of this, but I never seen this full event. We were talking about the 1991 Royal Rumble. Interesting one.
Yeah, I had seen I think I've seen the Rumble before because, go back and watch the Rumbles, and I've got the actual the event on DVD because that was I got like a WWE about 10 or so years ago now. They released a box set of all the the really Royal Rumbles, but don't know if I actually sat down and watched the actual whole event until just like recently. So no, it was good. It was a decent show, so it'd be good to talk about. And it's one that it was interesting that it came out. So I'm like, okay, cool, one I hadn't seen.
I was kind of excited, and then I started looking into some of the general kind of reviews and whatnot, and it was fairly highly rated for one of these kind of early 90s shows, because I know these early 90s shows can be kind of up or down with their quality, with the roster they had around that time. But to be fair, they actually had some decent workers around that time, and there were some better matches than you might think. I think this is one of those cases where some of these matches that I didn't have big expectations for ended up being pretty good. There's some downright really good matches on here. The Rumble's all right. We'll talk about it. It has its low points, here and there. We'll talk about sort of the booking of the show. It has its kind of high points and low points. But overall, not a bad show. So, we'll get into this, and we'll be reviewing this while we're waiting for JPO to get here. So, me and Richie will get right on into it. Yeah, we were talking about the 1991 Royal Rumble, January 19th, 1991, from the Miami Arena in Miami, Florida. I believe where the Miami Heat played around that time. So I think it has I don't think that arena exists anymore. I know they have like an American Airlines arena, I think, where the Heat play now down there, much more modern one now than what this one is.
I'm not familiar with that now because usually like arenas now are just are named after companies or not just the Miami Arena. I don't think I watched a Miami Heat game the other day. A home game. I don't think that the Miami Arena. I think it was something different.
I'm pretty sure it's the American Airlines Center or something like that, just like the Dallas Mavericks one is, I think. From what I remember, unless it, again, like you said, it could be some new company. The company name changes all the time depending on who's kind of sponsoring the arena and whatnot. So, the big kind of overall current event that was going on this time, America had just started their sort of Gulf War, invasions and whatnot, and the bombing. So your Operation Desert Storms, Desert Shield, things like that in Iraq and Saudi Arabia. So there was a lot of this, patriotic pro rah rah America, thing going on with the troops and whatnot. As you'll see on the show, Sergeant Slaughter was doing his Iraqi sympathizer gimmick, which was not great. So yeah, he was doing that. Hulk Hogan and Warrior were both doing their, rah rah America stuff, and yeah, that would kind of play out throughout 1991. And yeah, even if you haven't seen a lot of these shows, I think most people at least remember the WrestleMania from this year, it being Hulk Hogan, Mr. America versus Iraqi sympathizer Sergeant Slaughter, Richie, around that time.
Weren't they worried at that WrestleMania? Weren't they worried about bomb threats or something? They were worried about
something like that, because some people didn't understand that he was just playing a character, which is so silly. You know what I mean? Like that it was clearly like a gimmick, like USA versus the world, sort of a thing. So yeah, just very silly. I mean, obviously it's just a dumb thing, but yeah, that was kind of the storyline sort of running through the show, kind of in the background, because later on they have some messages for the troops and things like that, with the fans kind of saying good luck to our boys out there. There's a lot of promo stuff where they mention the armed forces, sort of a big national anthem opening rousing number, things like that. So that was kind of the thing around that time.
Thank God we didn't. They learned their lesson. Didn't capitalize on the divisiveness and didn't create another character called Muhammad Hassan years later.
Yeah, right. Oh, that's right. Yeah, we're still doing that years later. Yes. So yeah, yeah, that's kind of the setup to the show. Gorilla Monsoon and a very crazed Rowdy Roddy Piper are on commentary tonight. That dude was an absolute madman on commentary. Like I didn't really catch a lot of like what he said. I just know that half of the time he was just yelling and screaming on the microphone. What's going on here?
That dude had cocaine for breakfast.
Yeah, no, 100%. I'm pretty sure he was doing lines off to this. Allegedly, I don't know for sure, but if I had to guess, he might have been doing bumps off of his hand off to the side in between matches, because yeah, he was a wild man. He had crazy eyes every time they went back to him and Gorilla at the table. Yeah, he was an absolute lunatic tonight. So but he had some energy, I'll give him that. So but yeah, we get pretty quickly into our first match here. We got a tag team match, not for any titles or anything, just a straight up tag team match. We've got the Rockers of Marty Jannetty and Shawn Michaels, very young Shawn Michaels with pretty blonde mullet in tow, against the Orient Express of Kato and Tanaka, accompanied by Mr. Fuji.
This match ruled.
This match was great. Yeah, no, it was an excellent opener. We'll talk about it. And yeah, I haven't seen much of him, but Tanaka rules. He was awesome in this match. He was so good. Like I want to watch more Orient Express just for him. He was great. And it is in fact Pat Tanaka, who had a decent career. And if you want to know the guy who was under the Kato, it was not an Oriental man. It was Paul Diamond, sort of a very, very American guy. So under the mask.
He would be Max. He would be the second guy to play Max Moon now.
Max Moon, yes. So Paul Time, even Pat Tanaka is from Hawaii. He's not.
Yeah. So, I know Pat Tanaka because he briefly appeared in WCW, and he had Goldberg's music before Goldberg did.
Yes. So we got the Orient Express taking on the Rockers here in this opening contest. Yeah, pretty fun match. We'll talk about it. But yeah, so Orient Express kind of jumps the Rockers, get things going. They try to double team Shawn, but he counters with a double backdrop. Marty hits a super kick and a drop kick. They both hit double slams, kind of getting the crowd going here to start against the Orient Express here. They powder out. And then they hit a double tope on the Orient on the outside. So getting the crowd going with some big moves and some dives earlier on. Kind of settles in. We get Marty and Kato going at it. There's some leapfrogs and arm drags and sub blocks, a lot of the athleticism back and forth. They eventually do the spot where Kato's on top of him on the ground and Marty does the bridge up into the backslide, which is always good. Yeah, very early here, 1991 doing that. So I remember the first time I saw that, and I know because they weren't the first ones to do it. The first time I ever saw that was RVD and Jerry Lynn doing that spot when I was making those early ECW things. But yeah, still always a good spot, very impressive. There's a leapfrog to Kato, and he collides with Tanaka. So Orient Express not off to a good start here. They're colliding with each other and not having a little trouble getting a hold of these rockers. Tagging to Sean in his hair. There's an arm bar. Sean gets whipped into the corner. He gets worked over for a second. Tanaka whips him into the ropes, and he hits this like awesome, like spinning forearm or something like that, like super quick. It's the first time I really kind of took notice of it. Like I don't even know what it was. He just like at the last second did this crazy like spin into a forearm thing, and it looked pretty awesome. I enjoy that. Again, everything he does in this match is very crisp and clean. There's a tag to Kato. Sean's able to fight back a little bit with a double Naga knocker and a high knee. He then puts a sleeper, the dreaded sleeper, on Tanaka. Tonight was a night of sleepers. Yeah, you're kind of freezing up. Richie, you're pretty frozen, so I'm just going to keep going if you hear me. So I'm going to put this in the chat because I know you are freezing up. Okay. Anyways, double noggin knocker to those guys, but eventually Sean gets put back down. Tanaka counters a kick and leg sweep. Sean again hits a really cool kind of quick leg sweep. As there goes Richie, as he might have to restart his computer. The Orient tried to double team on Sean, but he's able to get up to the top rope and hits a standing moonsault on top of Kato, which really pops the crowd. And then he's able to get a tag. Rockers come in, hit a big double drop kick. They both hit huge top rope crossbodies to the outside, so really getting that crowd going and back into this match. Sean hits a big suplex on Kato, but he goes up to try the 10 punch, but Tanaka pulls him down off the top rope with the assist from Kato, and they kind of pull like a snake eyes on the top rope there, so really kind of shutting him out. Fuji also gets a cheap shot on the outside with his cane. That dastardly Mr. Fuji onto Shawn Michaels, so they're really working over Sean now, starting to isolate him. They hit a leapfrog double team on the Sean. Tanaka puts a dreaded nerve hold on Shawn Michaels and really holding him out. He puts the nerve hold on for quite some time. Sean desperately needs a tag here as he's getting worked over. Kato hits a couple of chops, whips him inside out, and then Tanaka hits a side kick in which Shawn Michaels goes over the top rope after he gets hit with a side kick. So that was pretty rough, but a really cool spot. And Tanaka was awesome in this match. He was great. Sean eventually counters an Irish whip and hits a big face plant where he kind of grabs Tanaka and kind of face plants him into the ground there, as I think Richie's coming back. Maybe. Hello. All right. You back? Hello? Richie, can you hear me?
Hey, I'm back.
Hey, are you here? Okay.
Yeah.
Rough night for the internet for Richie tonight. So a little trouble there. I was just getting to the spot where actually you're on a delay.
There you go. Sorry.
There you go. I was just going to do a spot that was pretty cool, kind of before the big hot tag, where they did a cool deal where Sean got whipped into the corner and did the inside out thing that he does a lot of times, kind of upside down and on the apron. And then Tanaka hit like a side kick and then knocked him back into the ring. I thought that was a pretty cool spot. They did some pretty innovative stuff in this matchup. So that was a cool one. He eventually gets the tag to Marty. So Marty comes, finally gets in there, starts hitting a bunch of big slams, big drop kicks. It's a power slam, gets a 2 count out of that. So he's trying to fire up, get these guys back in the match. Hits a big flying back elbow. Marty tries a backslide, but Tanaka is able to super kick him, which lets Kato get a backslide instead for a 2 count. Rockers fight back with a double super kick to Kato. They go for the rocket launcher, the old Midnight Express kind of rocket launcher, where they're going to toss him off the top rope with a splash. But Tanaka is able to get a kick on there, and Sean goes face first to the outside. He took a nasty bump to the outside off of that. But he eventually gets a slingshot, or Marty gets slingshotted into. Oh yeah, this is kind of a thing where they did a pretty cool spot where Kato did like the slingshot spot in the middle of the ring, and it went right into Tanaka, just like chopping him out of the slingshot. That was kind of cool. So I enjoyed that. And then that also kind of goes into the finish because they tried again, where they go to do the slingshot once again, but Sean is able to interrupt him, and instead Marty gets slingshotted into Tanaka, goes over into a sunset flip, and gets the 3 count. So that was a cool finish. Again, I think they did some really innovative moves in this thing. Tanaka was great. They hit a lot of really cool, just like creative spots. You can tell they were really trying to like plan out a couple of these spots to get the crowd popping. It seemed kind of ahead of its time for what it was in 1991, so you can tell they put a lot of effort into it. But yeah, really fun opener. I enjoyed it very much. So now that you're back, Richie, I can get your thoughts on this one. Hopefully you're back for good.
The match was really good, great innovative spots, and it could slip into any sort of modern card and still be really good match. Like the hot tag Marty Jannetty got, the crowd went fucking bonkers. Oh yeah, there's obviously like forget like this is before like Sean's considered the start of the team. I think Marty's really good, and just as well. There's just creative spots up after another, and like just a hell of an opener. One of the better openers you'll see, especially I think Royal Rumble has a knack for having good openers. If you go back and if you go back into the vault there, it has really good openers. So I mean, this is no exception. This is a really good match, and the crowd's hot for it, and everybody they seems to work well together, and just a great finish, and just a very very great match.
No, great opener. Definitely recommend check it out if you haven't seen it. Especially for the Orient Express, really good tag team. Not too much in between the matches. We kind of just jump right into our second match of the night. Richie, it's our big, mean, scary guy match of the night. Our big, mean, scary house fight of the evening, because we got the Big Boss Man taking on the Barbarian, being accompanied by Bobby the Brain Heenan. You know me, I think you're like me. I love a good house fight, and actually, this is a pretty fun one. This is a pretty good match for what it is. Pretty entertaining for the most part, but we'll get into it. It starts out fairly quickly. Boss Man in this match, he's like running all over the place. That dude had a ton of energy tonight. I don't know what the thing is. He was very agile, hopping all over the place in this.
The dude is athletic. The dude is athletic too. If I got out athletic, he did it in Zaguri. He did.
I was gonna say. Yeah, we'll get there. But yeah, he's running all over the place. He's hopping around the ring. He's doing all kinds of stuff. Yeah. Dude had a ton of energy. This is fun. I want this Boss Man. Yeah, the Boss Man we got, like 2000 to 2002 was not as good. But this Boss Man.
I forget Boss Man's babyface. I'm always when I think of Boss Man, I think of corporate Boss Man, and the Boss Man, like the nightstick Boss Man, the security guy looking. I mean basically the Vince Stooge Boss Man, not this Boss Man. I wish I saw more of this Boss Man in the Attitude Era.
Yeah, for sure. He starts really quick. Barbarian kind of jumps him a little fast, trying to hit a couple of knees and some big right hands, but Bossman counters very quickly. He hits like this really fast whip and into a quick big boot. Like he threw a really high big boot. I was like, holy shit. Bossman's throwing it real quick. He then runs and hits a huge running back elbow. So Bossman just a ton of agility to start. So Barbarian goes to the outside. Bossman sends Barbarian into the post. They hit. They get back in. Barbarian goes up to the top turnbuckle, but Bossman counters and then clotheslines Barbarian over the top rope. Barbarian inside the ring hits a huge suplex to the Bossman. So kind of back and forth, big moves here. He pulls Bossman in for kind of a close lariat, puts him down. Bossman falls into the ropes, or he gets hit towards the ropes, falls through the ropes, and gets his foot caught in there. So he's kind of hanging from the bottom there. So Barbarian kind of pounds and clubbers on him as he's stuck with his foot in the ropes there. And then also while he's out, Bobby Heenan gets a little cheap shot in on him behind the referee's back. Barbarian picks him up just straight up, like almost with ease. I mean, Bossman's no small guy. He's a good 300-pounder. I mean, just with ease, just picks him up and hits a backbreaker on him for 2. That dude was super strong for what he is. And then he puts a dreaded bear hug on the boss man, and one of a couple of bear hugs we'll have tonight. But he puts a bear hug on him, hits a couple of throat thrusts, drops a couple of elbows on the boss man, eventually gets a 2 count, puts another bear hug on him. This is definitely the low point of the match, like when he's just putting bear hugs on him. I don't love bear hug spots. They're kind of easy.
We're going to slow the match down. We're going to have a rest.
Slow it down. But yeah, it picks back up in a minute because once they get the bear hugs out of the way, Bossman fights his way out with some headbutts, bites him a little bit. And that's when Bossman just out of nowhere hits an enziguri, just straight up leaping enziguri, and it was a good one too. Not even like a sloppy one. It was a good enziguri. He really solid. So they both go down. Bossman tries an avalanche splash in the corner, but Barbarian rolls him up and only gets a 2 count. Bossman hits a stun gun across the ropes, but only gets 2 because Barbarian gets his foot on the ropes. One of several thing on the ropes spots we'll have over the next minute or two. Became their go-to thing for a second because Barbarian goes up to the top rope, hits a top rope clothesline, but Bossman this time gets his foot on the ropes. So he breaks up the count with a foot there. Bossman whips Barbarian into the ropes and hits the Bossman slam, the standing Bossman slam. But Barbarian gets his fingers on the ropes. He reaches out and just kind of puts his fingers on the ropes to barely break the count there. So he's able to break it out. And then Barbarian, once they get back up, knees Bossman in the gut and hits a huge spike pile driver just out of nowhere to Bossman. I was like, holy shit. He just straight picks him up and just launches him with a spike pile driver. Looked really nasty. Barbarian goes up to the top rope again. He hits a huge crossbody off the top, but Bossman's able to roll through the momentum and gets the 3 count to get him the win. So, this match was like pretty damn entertaining for what it was, minus the bear hugs. But it was hard hitting. Both guys were like way more athletic than they probably had any right to be for how big they were. Bossman was throwing big moves all over the place. Barbarian's jumping off the top rope. Super strong dude. Pretty fun for my money. Big mean scary guy match. Richie, what do you think?
I just thought this was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. Bossman. I sort of opened this. I wish I saw Bossman as babyface more in the Attitude Era. I think he might have catched on a bit, but no, they were insistent on being sort of a boring sort of lackey. He was extremely athletic dude. But Barbarian is also underrated dude. I always thought he was a very athletic guy, just a very intimidating presence, great boss guy, and just a really fun match. Minus the hug, and obviously it's around the time too. The crowd is all just on Bobby Heenan's case with the weasel chant are really loud. But this match is great. This is a great meat match.
Yeah, no, big meaty match. I enjoyed it very much. So we get to our first couple of promos of the evening. Sean Mooney is backstage with Sergeant Slaughter and General Adnan, his manager, who I thought was Iron Sheik at first, but it's not. It's General Adnan, who was a wrestler in his own right. And a fun fact about General Adnan, when I was looking him up, he actually wrestled in Iraq under Saddam Hussein, and he wrestled Andre the Giant in like the mid-70s. It's crazy. Like Saddam Hussein paid those guys to come over and wrestle for him. It's crazy in like the 70s. So weird thing there. So very fun fact, dude used to be a wrestler. This is one of his short runs. He was only here for about a year, General Adnan. Definitely one of those. I could see JPO using him as like a who dat who dis on his trivia, putting up a picture of General Adnan. Most people probably thinking it was Sheik, but it's not.
He only died. He only died a couple of years ago, right? I think he died a couple of years ago. So I vaguely remember General Adnan when I saw him. I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah. The highlight of this promo is they go to General Adnan and he's just speaking like random Arabic or something, and they do this cutback to Sergeant Slaughter where he's just going, just like he's just like got that like boss that Sergeant Slaughter face just going. Like he's just doing that like weird snarl thing. It made me laugh. I wanted a gif of that. just kind of like shaking his head. Yes. He says something about I didn't write everything down, but you're going to see some turmoil tonight. I'm going to be everybody's new leader. You're going to serve me. Yada yada yada. So he's going to take the title and become the new leader of the World Wrestling Federation. We then cut over to Gene Okerlund, who's with the Warrior. So you're always in for a fun time with the Warrior promos. I swear to God, in between questions, it sounded like Warrior was snoring, even though he was like trying to snarl, I think.
Yeah,
because he's going in between stuff. He's just breathing heavy. He's just talking nonsense as he always is. I have no idea what he's talking about. He's talking about like him being a leader is like sand in a desert and I'm gonna make a foxhole, something. I don't know what he's talking about. Something like that. Again, I have no idea. It's a Warrior promo. He's just talking nonsense and just growling and snarling. Yeah.
Sensational Sherry comes up to him as well.
That's it's kind of, I was gonna say it's actually it's somewhere in here. Did I not write it down? I could have sworn I wrote that down where that was. Did I miss? Oh, I'm sorry. That was before the other match. I totally missed it. I skipped over that in my notes. Let me rewind a little bit. This was before the Boss Man match. I apologize. Yeah, I missed this whole segment. My bad, because it's important to later. Sensational Sherry. Well, Macho Man is backstage first. He says that Sherry's got a proposal for the Ultimate Warrior or something like that. So we go out to the interview area, that little stage area. Gene is out there with Sherry. Sherry is saying something about how essentially Warrior said that Sergeant Slaughter said if he wins the title, he would give the first shot to the Macho Man. Did I have that right? So if he wins, he'll give the Macho Man will get like the first shot. Okay, right. And she wants to know if Warrior essentially will make the same deal. So if he retains his title tonight, if he will give Macho Man a shot, right? Do I have that correct? I think.
Yeah.
So, and she wants to know if he's got integrity and if he's got courage and whatnot. So
and she's flirting with him. She's like touching his chest. She's basically almost propositioning him like hey, I'd do it. I would. She would hook up with him if it meant to. Yeah,
give me the shot. And there's a weird moment where she like gives him a quick like kiss on the lips, and then Warrior like smears his finger with his lips and is smelling it for like the next minute. He's literally just like putting it up to his nose, just like sniffing it. It's so weird. He's such a weirdo.
I like to went backstage and I'm like, look, we didn't practice you smelling. Why did you smell that?
Why you smell it? What are you doing? At one point, Sherry like gets down on her knees, like I swear she's about to fillet the Warrior. Like it looks weird.
And then he just spits on the ground. Like,
he spits on the ground. And then she calls she called him yellow, and he basically refuses. She basically tries to seduce him, and then he turns it down. Essentially, Macho Man's furious about that. So he's not terribly happy. It's a bizarre segment. I totally forgot about that, but I had that written down.
He was willing to give him head in front of the audience,
in front of 16,000 people and everybody watching at home,
including children in the audience.
Yes. So but that wasn't the weird. The smelling of the fingers was the weirdest thing during the promo. If you're watching, he's just constantly just putting his fingers up to his nose. So weird. Warrior's a weirdo. But yes. We get to those promos I just talked about before the actual match. Third match of the night. We get right to it. No wasting time here. We get to the WWF title is on the line. Sergeant Slaughter with General Adnan out there taking on the Ultimate Warrior. Again, to be fair, super over with the crowd. Crowd's super into Warrior. Totally behind him. And this match, it's weird, Richie, because we've watched a couple of Warriors matches on here. You know, we with Malcolm we watched the Hogan match, which was entertaining for the most part. We watched that Rick Rude match, which was awesome. That match he had with Rick Rude. Yeah, that match ruled. That match was great. So like, we've watched nothing but good Warrior matches lately. So it's kind of weird. Like we all shit on him, but like we've not watched all of his good matches, you know, like for the most part. So like I guess maybe it's just those infamous kind of couple of bad ones that kind of stand us on him. But to be fair, I think for this one, I don't know if you agree. I thought this one was pretty entertaining overall as well. We'll get into it, but for the most part. So yeah, not as like innovative or creative as like, you know, the Rude match, but again, on an entertainment value, I think it did its job. So yeah, Sargent has a lot of heat, obviously. They bring the Iraqi flag out there. They're waving it around. Warrior comes running out to his music. He immediately goes in and jumps both guys, hits him with a double clothesline. He then takes the flagpole. He snaps it in half. Again, the crowd's going like jumping up and down for this. He's like breaking the flag. He's ripping the flag. You know, crowd is going absolutely bonkers, you know, jumping up and down, going crazy. The match has already started, correct? Did I not hear a bell?
No, I thought the match had started. Yeah.
Because he then starts using the flagpole as a weapon against Sergeant Slaughter. He's choking him with the flag. He's hitting him with the flagpole. He's clearly using foreign objects against Slaughter, which he should have been DQ'd for during this.
Maybe they're like, the flagpole, I can't explain, but then maybe like the flag, they're choking the flag. Like, that's soft material. They can't do many much damage. But yes, that's still.
Well, maybe it doesn't count because, you know, Sargent brought it in the ring. I don't know. Just whatever thing. Yeah. Anyways, but yeah, he's choking him with the flag. He's hitting him with the flagpole. He's running all over the place. He hits a big high knee, slams Sargent's head into the buckle. Again, he's choking him with the flag. Hits a backdrop to the Sarge. He sends Sergeant Slaughter into the corner and over the ropes onto the outside. They brawl a little bit on the outside. He's choking him on the outside again. Back in the ring, he hits a couple of shoulder blocks. Warrior does. Goes for another one, but Sherry comes to the outside. She grabs his leg and distracts him for a minute. Sherry then goes running up the ramp and like Warrior just chases after her, just full stop, and just goes running after her. Yeah. But I mean, so I guess he's not worried about getting counted out because he just goes running up the ramp after Sherry, but right into the hands of the Macho Man, who jumps him on the rampway. Clubbers him. He grabs like one of those camera like light pole rigs and like a pole of one of those. He hits Warrior on the back of it. This is all behind the referee's back because the referee is I'm a mile away, by the way, on the damn ramp, but also Sergeant Slaughter is kind of, you know, holding him aside. But yes, he gets hit with the pole. Earl Hebner does the longest 10 count in the history of 10 counts. Where, dude, Hebner could have counted to 100 by the time Warrior gets back to this ring. It's ridiculous. Yeah, but I think Sargent, they explain it, he like has to distract Hebner, so he has to start over his count, the whole thing. So yeah, they had to give Warrior time because he took his damn sweet time getting back here. He was probably already blown out from running all over the damn place. I'm sure he was. But the crowd is still hot for this, so give him credit. Crowd's still hot for this whole angle. So yeah, he gets back in. Sargent eventually just gives up. He just rolls out to the outside and throws it back in. They're just done with the counting spot. Sargent picks him up, hits a backbreaker, hits a clothesline off of that. He then puts Warrior in a bear hug, so another match, another bear hug. Eventually, Warrior fights out with a body slam, but Sargent cuts him off with some elbows and some ground elbows as well. Hits another backbreaker. What a weird spot. The camel clutch spot. Okay, this was weird because Sargent puts Warrior in the camel clutch really close to the ropes, like to where Warrior's waist is almost right by the ropes, like under it. And Hebner's in front, letting Sargent do this. Where did Hebner think his legs were? You know, like he's clearly like they're really close to the ropes. Like, where the hell did you think Warrior's legs were? Because literally his legs are like almost all the way beyond the apron, like almost to the floor. And eventually Hebner turns around and sees that Warrior is halfway onto the floor and calls for the break. Excuse me.
Even attempt to move that close.
Just ridiculous. Hebner's really bad in this match. I'm sorry. A bad ref. Anyways, yeah, so he finally eventually I wrote, how did Hebner not see that? I don't know. But Warrior eventually kind of fires up, hulking up, if you will. He starts hitting his big running clotheslines. He pulls this is Sherry gets up off the apron. Warrior physically pulls her and assaults her over the ropes, just manhandles her over this ropes, then picks her up in a gorilla press and presses her over the ropes and tosses her on the Macho Man. Holy shit. Jesus Christ, this man is a madman. He has no problem just assaulting women. No problem whatsoever. Yeah, he just manhandles Sherry. I wrote, damn. Jesus, he just flat tossed her into Macho Man. Anyways, as the ref is distracted with Sarge, Warrior goes to lean out to go grab Macho Man, but Macho Man has his scepter, his Macho King scepter. He cracks Warrior with it, breaks it over his head. Warrior falls back into the ring, and Sergeant Slaughter takes advantage and covers him for the 3 count. The crowd is in shock. They can't believe that the Warrior has lost here. Even Gorilla Monsoon can't believe it. So much so that for the first time that I can remember, there's a bullshit chant audibly in the crowd. Like the crowd is literally chanting bullshit, bullshit. They are very, very angry. But your new champion is Sergeant Slaughter. And of course, this would, as most people know, this would lead into the match with Hogan at WrestleMania. So he had to be champion kind of going into that. But what do you think of this match, Reggie? It was it was a very like kind of sports entertainment match, but like I still think for the most part pretty entertaining. Not bad.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of there's a lot of stuff going on. Probably, but maybe like a smoke and mirrors with Warrior match. There's like a lot of distractions to make it entertaining. But hey, it was entertaining, which is the primary goal. So yeah, it's weird. I don't know if I was serious, if I trust Warrior to lift me up there. I don't know if I would trust Macho Man to catch. I don't know, man. To catch me.
A lot of factors there, yeah.
So that was a ballsy move. But yeah, the fact that he just said, sometimes even back in the Attitude Era that they were kind of at least kind of like they were sort of debilitated whether they're gonna do the move on the woman. He didn't have any qualms about it. He's like, yep,
nope. He's like, nope, you're going up and you're going out. Yeah, I'm going to toss you. Yeah, if I was Sherry, I don't know if I would have trusted Warrior with that, but okay. I guess so. But yeah. So yeah, no, but good crowd heat. Yeah, the crowd was properly into the match though. They were definitely pissed at the finish, and it kind of did its job for what it is. Sergeant, I know, would go on, or at least Warrior would go on to have, I think, at WrestleMania a title versus career match, because that's where we kind of got the pseudo Macho Man retirement, where he then went to be a commentator. If you remember. So
because McMahon thought he was too old and he's only like near 40.
Yeah, so, and now in the WWE, like there's a ton of guys near 40, all over the place.
I'm gonna retire at 50, so CM Punk probably can retire at 50.
Yeah, the median age in WWE is like 38 right now, or 40. So not even close. So he thought he was too old, so he kind of retired him. But that's where that would go eventually. And then right after that we had got into our 4th match, because we got 2 more matches even before the Rumble. A weird one here, because we roll from super crowd heat, mega heat, Sergeant Slaughter, Ultimate Warrior, to Coco Beware versus the Mountie.
Match placement. I guess they're like, hey, well, this will, this is like the Divas match. You'll kill it, and this is the piss break, and then. Piss break match for sure. And I like the Mountie for the most part. I think Jacques Rougeau has fun playing the Mountie, and you kind of tell, but like, I like Jacques Rougeau as a wrestler. I think he should be. I think he's a
decent wrestler. Yeah,
I think there should be he should get a Hall of Fame induction. But and Coco Beware is like I like his character, but he's Coco Beware. I don't really care so much.
Yeah, no, I can only care so much about this match, yeah, after the previous one. But regardless, we got this match. Mounties out there with Jimmy Hart, of course. Jimmy Hart and Bobby Heenan both around this time just managed like 85 people apiece. I can never keep up with everybody who was managed by who around this time. It's just okay, yeah, that person was Jimmy Hart too. All right, whatever, I don't care. It's fine. I'll buy it. So, anyways, yeah, it starts off hot. Coco hits a big drop kick and an arm wringer. Mountie, they do a spot where Mountie continues to leapfrog again. Very athletic for his size, and he's no small dude. He's a big guy, that Japu show. But he leapfrogs Coco once, leapfrogs him twice, goes to leapfrog a third time, but Coco stops himself and counters with the right hand to his face. Mountie fights back with some right hands, sends Coco to the outside. He uses the cattle prod on Coco, but not in a way where you would shock him with a cattle prod. He just holds it like this and thrust him in the throat with the cattle.
So just use it the way you should.
The lesser devastating way you would use a cattle prod. Yes.
He doesn't use it for maximum impact, which seems pointless.
Yeah. it's like it always bugged me when Triple H would have the sledgehammer, and instead of swinging it like a hammer, he would hold the top and shove it into
the hold it. Just like,
yeah, I
just like I don't know, like trying to hit them in the it makes it so obvious that you can't, because obviously you're not going to hit him in the face, but like I don't know, man, just can you not work it without like being so fake, or just hit him in the ribs or something? I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah. So Jacques, takes the cattle prod, just kind of like shoves it like that in his face. Of course, behind the referee's back, Jimmy Hart's got the ref. Back inside, Mountie hits a big leaping back elbow. He chokes Coco on the ground. Coco tries to fight back with a counter sunset flip and only gets a 2. But Mountie boots Coco back to the outside. There was a funny bit where Mountie was beating up on Coco, and Coco had his bird on the little thing on the outside, sitting there, and Jimmy Hart's just staring at the bird, and they get a shot of it. He's scolding the bird. he's going, you see your boy Coco? He's getting beat up right now. We're gonna take him out. He's just talking to the bird. I thought that was really funny, actually. I wanted to watch more of Jimmy Hart just yelling at the bird. So I thought it was funny.
Frank or something. Frank,
Frankie, I think. Yeah. Yeah, he's just yelling at Frankie. I thought that was funny. They caught a little bit of that. Mountie goes for his pile driver that he's used to win matches before, but Coco's able to backdrop out of it. He hits a couple of Mountie fights back up with a couple of big axe handles, hits a punt kick to the gut. Coco hits a huge swinging neck breaker, which Jacques sold great. It was kind of like they were both sort of midair when they spun on the neck breaker. It looked pretty cool. Again, Jacques' a good wrestler. He knows how to sell. But yeah, Coco has a big flying headbutt and a body slam. Goes up top, and he hit an impressive missile drop kick and then landed on his feet. That looked pretty awesome. What it was. Homeboy landed on his feet. Coco then he sends he gets sent into the ropes, but does kind of a step up turnaround cross body, gets a 2 count as well. Coco then goes off the ropes to go for another move, but Mountie catches him in sort of a choke slam, boss man slam kind of a thing that he used a couple of times, kind of a catching choke slam, and pins Coco for the 3 count. So your winner is the Mountie. That's his name. I mean, again, not a bad match. If it was on like a Superstars or something, be totally fine. You know what I mean? Like if I saw this like a TV match, totally fine little match. Just weird placement on the show. Just kind of crowd was there.
And it's interesting that they wanted. I guess they wanted to have that buffer, but I don't know why this needs to be on the show. I don't know. But it was a good match. It's a good showcase for these joggers. Again, I think it's a bit underrated and it was really good wrestler. Maybe if he was settled with the Mountie gimmick, he did when he did good with the Mountie gimmick, but maybe if he was settled with a bit of gimmick, he'd be further up the card. But the match was fine for what it was, and
no, it's totally fine. All right, so we're backstage again with Sean Mooney. He's with the Macho Man in that same locker room that he was with him in earlier. He starts to cut a promo when he hears Warrior pounding on the door. Warrior's obviously very hot and after him backstage. So Macho Man flees out of a different door. So Macho Man is trying to be in hot pursuit of the Macho Man backstage, which that'll come into play later.
It's quite of Osmora, even though he's angry, to still knock.
Yeah, he's just pounding and knocking on it. Macho, and yeah, Macho Man just pieces out of there. He's like, "No, I'm gone." So we then go back to Gene, who is with Sergeant Slaughter and Adnan for their kind of post-match celebration. He talks about how you'll respect me now. My leadership will have no boundaries. Just kind of a general sort of celebration. He's holding the belt, so doing that. There's a montage of some people, some fans having messages for the armed forces going into the Gulf Storm, the Gulf War, Desert Storm, all kinds of stuff. So, anyways, yada yada yada. Good luck to our troops, that sort of thing. We then get a montage of Royal Rumble participant promos. So these are each like 15 seconds apiece. So they're very very quick, like rapid fire promos. So I didn't write down anything he said, but we check in. Yeah, good.
They would do this they would do this in the Australian Rumble 3 sometimes. And I remember one where it was just like, usually you pump yourself up. I remember Eddie Guerrero at one time, he's just like, yeah, I might win. I'll try my best.
Yeah, that's what a lot of these are, because I didn't write down a lot of what they said. I was just kind of like taking a few minor notes. We have it's Jake Roberts at first. He cuts a kind of a promo. We then go to Earthquake, who's there with Bobby Heenan, cuts a quick one. Greg the Hammer Valentine. We go to Texas Tornado, Kerry Von Erich. We go to both the Road Warriors, who are both in the Rumble, so they, what a rush sort of thing. We get the Undertaker, who, by the way, for anybody who doesn't know, this is like 3 months into The Undertaker. He had debuted in like November of 1990. So this is like 3 months where he's with Brother Love, if anybody remembers that. Yeah, he's not with Paul Bearer. He's with Brother Love. But yeah, it's very like his hair's almost red. He's almost got like a red beard. It's a little different. He's got like the pale makeup, sort of that sort of thing. So yeah, this is very, very early Taker. So yeah, Taker's there. Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Oh, he's there. Cuts a quick thing. The model Rick Martel, who I forgot was going to be like the MVP of this Rumble out of nowhere. Yeah, he's there. Davey Boy is there. Cuts a quick couple of words. Mr. Perfect as well, and then Tugboat to kind of round out the montage. Yeah, we cut from that back to Sean Mooney in the back with Ted DiBiase and his bodyguard Virgil. Virgil's doing his usual thing where he's kind of posing a little bit while counting the money. But the setup for this is that they're going into the storyline where Ted is actively putting down Virgil and his duties and responsibilities during this, saying, he's the one who scrapes the poo off my shoe, who washes my underwear, who does all this degrading things, basically is what it was. And I have the money to pay for it. Everybody's got a price, the whole shebang. So it's just showing just how much he humiliates Virgil, and that'll come into effect in this matchup.
The optics aren't great because he's black. It kind of feels like a man in a slavery thing.
Oh no, and I think they kind of play it like that. Yeah, that he's just like, I own this guy as property. It's really weird. Yeah, it's very very strange. But then again, that'll play into this matchup here, because we have Ted DiBiase teaming up with Virgil, and I forgot this ever happened, but going against Dusty and Dustin Rhodes, which I forgot was like a thing. Here, because if I remember right, they're both off to WCW pretty quickly after this, I think. So, yeah.
I just forget that they interact. I know they're in the company at the same time. I forget they interact. So I forget. I know they go to WCW around the same time, but I forget that they. In my head they interact a lot later, but no. But I forgot about this.
And I think I've said it on one of the other shows we did, but I'll say it again. Young Dustin with his like blonde hair and his coat looks exactly like Cody right now. It's
Yeah,
ridiculous. Yeah, he looks a lot like Cody here. It's kind of scary how close they look here. But anyways, yeah, so we get the match started. The Rhodeses do a quick double team. They hit some big elbows, a couple of chops, a couple of noggin knockers. Dustin is in there, hits a big drop kick. Virgil kind of powders out to the outside as the Rhodeses have control here. Dustin back in, hits a shoulder block, and he clotheslines Virgil at the top rope. So Virgil not doing too well here against the more experienced wrestlers here. Ted DiBiase finally gets a cheap shot to cut off Dustin. He gets in and starts wailing on Dustin in the corner. Dustin counters a whip and tries to hit a face plant, and then they get Ted kind of over into their corner. They each hit some bionic elbows on there. Ted goes flying to the outside. Dusty finally gets the tag in. He hits some big chops and elbows in the corner, puts a sleeper on Virgil, but Virgil's able to get a cutoff here. Dustin tags back in, hits a big drop kick on Virgil, gets a 2 count. Excuse me. Eventually, Ted hits a cheap shot to Dustin into the knee, and then Virgil starts kind of working on Dustin's leg a little bit. Hits a big hard lariat. They wrap his leg around the post in their own corner, kind of wrap it around a couple of times. They try for a big double team. Virgil goes for like a wind up clothesline and accidentally hits DiBiase, and DiBiase does not take well to this as he immediately just starts wailing on Virgil for his mistake and just lays into him, just rights and lefts. Big stomp. He does not take kindly to the accidental hit. Dusty eventually comes in, hits a corner splash on Ted, goes for a second corner splash, but gets kind of rolled up out of nowhere, and Ted DiBiase gets the 3 count. So Ted wins the match. Post-match, he gets on the microphone, calls out Virgil an idiot, tells him to get the $1 million belt. I know it's crazy what's about to happen, JPO. I know. Because Ted tells him to get the $1 million belt. Virgil gets the $1 million belt. He's running him down, tells him to strap it onto his waist. There's a hesitation, and of course, Virgil turns on Ted, finally hits him with the belt, lays him out. Crowd goes crazy, and that would eventually set up their WrestleMania and SummerSlam program. So,
Virgil became a huge star, and from that, and
eventually went on to job out to just about everybody the 2 years after that. So after that program, so
I did find it. I mean,
Vincent had a good run.
Yeah, he at least was employed in WCW without doing much for the 4 or 5 years after that. Yeah, that's for sure.
Really find it interesting that Virgil's in the ring with Dusty Rhodes, considering he's called Virgil because he's named after Dusty.
Yes.
But
yeah, I mean, it's kind of a very basic type. It was more just this match was about setting up the post match angle and anything else, Richie. Pretty much.
Yeah, it's a storyline match, and I feel like Dusty and Dustin will follow for that kind of thing. They didn't really do much with Dusty in WWE, unfortunately. He was better off WCW anyway. So but it accomplished what it was supposed to, and it got a big pop when Virgil finally turned on Ted. That's that's still play. That's a term that's still kind of played today. That's sort of it's a decent term there. So it was successful, and it accomplished what they wanted to accomplish. Minus maybe the fallout. Where the fallout was successful, but it was fine.
Yeah, no, totally. So Mean Gene is back with Hulk Hogan getting ready for the Royal Rumble. Gee, Richie, everybody else that's in this Rumble had 15 seconds of a promo, and Hulk Hogan gets a full 2 minutes with Mean Gene. I wonder who's going to win. So, they couldn't have made it almost more obvious here. But yeah, Hogan cuts one of his usual Hogan promos. He's going to win this thing for our armed forces, for our men and women in uniform, and do the thing. And he's going to eventually, take down and get revenge on that nasty Sergeant Slaughter. So, just kind of a typical Hogan promo. But yeah, it leads into the Royal Rumble. 30 men here over the top rope gets you eliminated. 2-minute intervals for this one. Again, I'm always a fan of like the 90 seconds. I think that it makes for a better pace. 60's too fast, 2 minutes too long, 90 seconds just right. Kind of right in the middle. I've always been a fan of the 90-second intervals, but 2-minute intervals for these early ones.
I do like now. I don't think they made a point last year of saying how many the intervals are. They're just like when our spot's done, you'll get in the ring.
Yeah.
You'll get in the ring. So yeah, like otherwise I get my head and count. Like, no, it hasn't been 90 seconds. It hasn't been 2 minutes. That was no, yeah. But yeah, probably 90 seconds. If they did stick the time like they should, 90 seconds would be the sweet spot.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, our number one entrant is Bret the Hitman Hart, and he's starting out with Dino Bravo. So this should be a banger right off the mix. But yeah, so Bret gets a couple of atomic drops, tries to line Dino over the top rope, doesn't get it. Dino hits his own Manhattan drop to counter, just kind of back and forth for a minute. Your number 3 is Greg the Hammer Valentine, and Greg Valentine just beat the shit out of people during this match. If you watch him, he was just chopping the fuck out of people, just punching the hell out of dudes. He was just wailing on people this whole match. But he goes after Dino, much to the chagrin of Jimmy Hart, because I think they were tag partners around this time. So he was not happy with them fighting each other. So they're kind of clubbering each other. But Greg pretty quickly dumps Dino over the top rope. So Dino is eliminated. And then Bret and Greg start going at it. Your number 4 is Paul Roma, who Roddy calls Romeo, but it's Paul Roma. He comes in and goes after Greg a little bit. Bret grabs eventually both of them, hits a double noggin knocker. A couple of guys try to dump Bret. Again, there's not a lot of like big spots during this thing. It's kind of like just a lot of the guys doing the chops and the clubbering and the trying to dump the guys over. It's not that it's like boring. It's just there's not a lot of like spots. You know what I mean? So there's not a lot to like talk about other than the eliminations. Again, not boring. There's a lot of good workers in this match. So they're all like, none of them are just standing there, doing rest holds. You know what I mean? Like they're all doing things actively. But it's just like not a lot of like spots. But yeah, number 5 is the Texas Tornado. He comes in, hits a couple of discus punches to both Roma and the Hammer. Greg again chops and clubs Texas in the corner very, very hard. Just kind of putting a general beating on him. Some other guys kind of going at it. Number 6 is Rick the Model Martel, who, yes, would kind of be the MVP of this match. Not to jump ahead, but he lasts 53 minutes in this match and sets a record that wouldn't be broken for a little while. Well, I guess it got broke by Ric Flair the next year, but a very, very impressive run here. He lasts a really, really long time, and everybody beats the hell out of him in this match. He's like the whipping boy for the entire match, man. Everybody this whole thing.
He's almost like he's just one of those. He lasts a long time, but sometimes you forget he's there. He's like, remember when I think it was into 2000, Rodo tried to get you going and stay in the corner, or like not quite like that, but it was definitely one of those. It was sort of this. He was sort of hidden in amongst the humanity sometimes, so he kind of. You
could always spot him because he had these like bright purple trunks on, so you could kind of spot him in the crowd. But yeah, he's in there for quite a long time, and yeah, he's always kind of doing something if you keep an eye on him. Number 7 is Saba Simba, Tony Atlas's very racist gimmick that didn't last very long. His literal like African gimmick that did not last long in this one, but yeah, he comes in. He doesn't last too long because Bushwhacker Butch is in at number 8. Simba tries to dump out the model, but the model eventually just pulls him out over the ropes. So Simba is eliminated by the model. Number 9 is Jake the Snake Roberts. He comes in with a House of Fire, hits Martel with a couple of clotheslines. The model rolls out of the ring, but he rolls under. He kind of powders out. Jacob gives chase a little bit. Greg cuts him off. There's a bit of a schmoz there. Our number 10 is Hercules, who desperately needs a tan. That dude was pale as fuck. He needs a tan, about as pale as Sheamus. He needs a tan, but he comes in. They both, him and Roma, start putting a pounding on Bushwhacker Butch. Again, every other time somebody comes in, Model is like getting almost dumped over the ropes like 25 times in this match, so he does that a lot. Just kind of almost getting dumped over. Jake gets tied up in the ropes and beat on a little bit. Number 11 is Tito Santana Arriba. So he comes in, kind of hits a couple of big moves. Jake eventually pulls Paul Roma out of the ring, so Roma is eliminated. Tito starts working on the model in the corner. Number 12 is The Undertaker, comes out with Brother Love. He comes in, starts choking everybody. He chokes Bret over the ropes almost immediately and eliminates Bret Hart, so that's a big elimination pretty quickly for the dead man. And he kind of like does the thing for a little where he's just kind of no-selling a lot of the moves. Kerry hits him with a discus punch. He kind of no-sells it. Kerry puts a claw on him at one point, kind of no-sells it, things like that. So he's just kind of no-selling a lot of the moves. Number 13 is the Superfly, Jimmy Snuka. He comes in, and while he's coming in, Taker tosses Bushwhacker Butch over the top rope, so he is gone. He no-sells some of Greg's elbows. Again, no-selling moves here and there. Number 14 is the British Bulldog, Davey Boy Smith. Comes in. Snuka's kind of working on Taker in the corner. British Bulldog starts working on him. Not a whole lot of big spots here, just kind of everybody sort of working around the ring. Number 15 is Smash of Demolition. So he comes in. Jake teases hitting the DDT on the model, but model's able to kind of weasel his way out. And then, but again, as he's weaseling his way out, Jake goes after him, and Jake gets pulled over the ropes by the model. So Jake the Snake Roberts is eliminated, and he's out. Crowd didn't like that at all. They liked Jake quite a bit. Number 16 is Hawk of the Legion of Doom. He comes in and he did a funny thing where he starts going after everybody. Like he's the House of Fire. He punches this guy, punches that guy. He's running all over the place. And eventually, like 6 guys go like, fuck this. And they all just dogpile him. And just like, to be fair, Hawk may have been, he was allegedly on some things around this time. So maybe they were like, calm the fuck down, bro. Like just.
Maybe, he probably was like the legit punching him, and it's like, okay, they just probably just all look. They probably all just said unwritten rule. Like, okay, you all saw that, right? He punched us in the face. They looked us do that. Let's get him.
yeah, slow down, because like Greg and Snuka and Taker and a whole bunch of guys just dogpile him. It's just stomping him out like pretty quickly. So it's kind of funny. In comes Shane Douglas, the youngster. Shane Douglas. To be fair, he was 27 here, so kind of young in wrestling terms, but young Shane Douglas comes in. During this schmaz, Texas Tornado and Snuka both get tossed out. I forget by who, but they both get tossed out during this exchange here. Number 18 is no one, because the buzzer goes off and nobody comes out. There's a mystery over who it was, but Gorilla and them can't figure it out. They've got the whole list of participants, but they don't know who was supposed to be there, so nobody comes out. Number 19 is Animal of the Legion of Doom. He comes in.
Is that ever explained? That's always bothered me, that whole fucking no one's there.
They do explain it in this case eventually, because you find out
Savage ran away.
Savage didn't show up because he was getting chased around by Warrior backstage, is what it was. So he was busy running away from the Warrior, so he never came out to the Rumble. So there was a storyline through the whole show where Warrior was pissed because Macho screwed him over in the title match. So so Warrior's chasing him.
The commentator's been like, I don't know who that was supposed to be. I have all the list here. Like, wouldn't you have Macho on your list?
They don't have them in order. He says they had the participant list, but they don't have the order. So until they got to the end, they didn't figure out that Macho Man never entered, so it was the Macho Man. So they do address it during the show if you listen closely. They say that obviously it was the Macho Man that never showed up. So he was disqualified for not showing up, is what the official thing says. So he never entered, but he was disqualified for not showing up. But yeah, the LOD kind of tried to double team Taker. And they successfully do so as they clothesline Taker over the top rope. So Undertaker is eliminated here. But then right afterwards, after they do that, somebody came up behind him. I think it was Hammer and knocks Hawk over the top rope. So Hawk is gone as well, just like that. Number 20 is Crush of Demolition. A couple of guys are beating up Davey here. Crush beats up somebody in the corner. Again, not a whole lot of spots going on, just kind of everybody kind of schmozzing around. Number 21 is Hacksaw. Oh, he wasted the crowd. They're into Hacksaw. He fires up on everyone, hits a bunch of jabs, a couple of shoulder tackles. He's running over everybody. Number 22 is the Earthquake. John Tenta, he's a big favorite here. Big man. I like Earthquake, by the way. He's a great worker. good stuff. So
I love Earthquake. Yeah.
Earthquake's awesome. So Animal tries to go after Earthquake, but Earthquake uses his big hulking physique and backs him up to the corner and tosses Animal out. So Animal is gone. Hacksaw tries to beat up Earthquake, but he fails. Earthquake gets the better of him. Number 23 is Mr. Perfect. Hacksaw roughs up Perfect a little bit. Hacksaw goes to run against Perfect over the ropes, but Perfect is able to dump him out and kind of backdrop him over the ropes and gets Hacksaw out. So Hacksaw is gone. Crowd doesn't like that at all. But number 24, he's a real American. Here comes Hulk Hogan. Crowd goes crazy out of their seats for this one. They all try to team up on Hogan, but he kind of breaks out of it. He hits a couple of big boots. He eventually tosses Smash over the top ropes and gets rid of him. He goes after the Earthquake because they were in a feud around this time. They would have a couple of matches before WrestleMania. So they were kind of finishing out a feud from the previous year. And Earthquake splashes him in the corner. So they're kind of going at it there. Number 25 is Haku. Haku comes in, starts going after the model, tries to eliminate him, but can't. Again, model's still in there, just still not eliminated. Hogan eliminates Greg the Hammer Valentine, so finally tosses him out. But he had a good run as well, man. He was in there for like 35 minutes or something. So good on him. Yeah, he lasted quite a bit in there. Number 26 is Jim the Anvil Neidhart. Inside the ring, Earthquake is able to eliminate Tito Santana. So Tito was gone. Bunch of guys kind of go after Hogan again, but he's still hanging on. 27 is Bushwhacker Luke. In the ring, Haku and Earthquake kind of go at it. I want to see those two guys have a match. I think they're going to have a lot of fun. But yeah, Earthquake eventually just gets rid of Bushwhacker Luke. He doesn't last very long. This lasts about 20 seconds in this one. So yeah, he goes after Luke and quickly eliminates him. Let's see. 28 is Brian Knobbs. And we'll talk about Brian Knobbs in a minute because it's kind of bizarre what goes down with Brian Knobbs. But anyways, he comes in a House of Fire. He kind of does the same thing Hawk. He like comes in a House of Fire. He like clubs on everybody, punch everybody, and eventually everybody's just like, fuck you. And they just like they all pound on him at the same time. Like, no, you don't get to be that spot, Brian Knobbs. Get out of here. But during the schmaz, Hercules gets tossed out by Knobbs, I believe. I think tosses Hercules out. 29.
He lasted longer than I thought he was going to. Hercules. Yeah. I thought he lasted at least like decent. I thought, he
lasted a while. Yeah, I kind of forgot he was in the match at this point, but he was still in there for a little bit. Number 29 is the Warlord, who I've ref for, by the way. Dude lives in Florida, so I've ref for him back in the 2000s.
I've met him, yeah.
yeah. He was a bouncer at a club we used to go to for after parties. So yeah, big giant dude. Yeah, even later you're still giant dude and didn't age very much. So but yeah, he was pretty cool. Yeah, Hogan tosses Crush to the outside, so Crush is eliminated. Hogan then goes after the Warlord and is able to eliminate the Warlord. So Warlord doesn't last very long. Your final participant is Tugboat. So Tugboat comes in and he is the last one. Knobbs eliminates Douglas. Tugboat tries to toss Hogan but can't do it. But Hogan eventually then tosses out Tugboat as he reverses it. So he takes out the big man there. Davey eliminates Mr. Perfect. Model eliminates Anvil. He's still in the match, and he takes out Jim the Anvil Neidhart. Davey eventually is able to lift up and eliminate Haku. So some quick eliminations here. The model does something really stupid. He climbs up to the top rope to do a top rope move. Davey catches him. He straddles him on the ropes and then punches him and knocks him off. So model gets eliminated, and he probably could have lasted till the end if he hadn't been stupid enough to go to the top rope. So that's kind of dumb on his part. But model, I think officially 52-17. So he lasts quite a long time in this one. So model kind of the MVP of this match. Very nice. But yeah, and then the thing, this whole thing comes down. Davey gets eliminated, by the way, as well by the Earthquake. And the final three of this match are Hulk Hogan, Earthquake, and Brian Knobbs, which is the most bizarre final three like you'll ever see in the Rumble. Not so much Hogan and Earthquake because they were in a feud, but like Brian Knobbs.
Just like,
three. What?
Is that a nepotism thing? Because that him and Brian Knobbs are good friends
with Hogan's buddy, I guess. But wouldn't it make more sense to have like Davey or Hacksaw or somebody that more popular. I don't know.
Random tag motherfucker.
Yeah, random tag. Yeah, I don't know. Just silly. But anyway, so they double clothesline Hogan. They're trying to team up on Hogan here. They put a beating on him for a little bit. Earthquake hits a standing splash to Hogan. He does this kind of sitting, finisher on Hogan. But right after he does that, Hogan hulks up. He's had enough of this, and he boots Brian Knobbs over the top rope. So it's finally down to Hogan and Earthquake, as it should be. He boots the Earthquake, tries to slam him, but he's unsuccessful as Earthquake falls on top of him and crushes him. Earthquake drops a couple of big elbows, hits a big power slam, but Hulk Hogan hulks up once again, for real this time, with the full shaking and the wagging of the fingers. And then he slams, finally able to get a big body slam on the Earthquake, and then he clotheslines Earthquake over the top rope. And Hulk Hogan is your winner of the 1991 Royal Rumble, and a two-time winner as he won the previous 1990 Royal Rumble. First ever, yeah, double winner. So yeah, and would be the only one till Shawn Michaels, I believe, right? 95, 96. So yeah. So Richie, what did you think of this one? Again, not really like boring. All these guys were good workers, so when they were working. Everybody was working hard. Just not a lot of spots in this one. If that's what you're looking for, this is the wrong Rumble for that. You need to go to the 2000s, 2010s for that kind of stuff. But a lot of good workers in here, and nobody's just kind of standing around doing nothing. It's not one of those Rumbles, so it's at least decent with a lot of decent workers, and the crowd was into it for the most part. So not a bad Rumble, not one I'd go back to a lot, but decent for the most part.
Not bad. Yeah, no, I liked it. It was a Rumble full of full of names. And it's it was always something sort of going on.
Not a lot of geeks in this Rumble. We watched that one in '95 that had a lot of geeks in it. A lot of dorks in that Rumble. Yeah,
they're stretching in the '95 and '96 Rumble. Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of dorks in that one.
They didn't have to go to Carlos Colon, World, Carlos Colon's promotion, and just get some So you knew everybody coming in. So it's a lot of star power here. Yeah, nothing flashy or anything. You kind of knew who's going to win, but Brian Knobbs being the third one was puzzling. I don't know what it would have been interesting if it was the Undertaker or something as well.
Taker or Mr. Perfect, like I said, Davey, just anyone of the guys that was like a name, just a bigger name that would have made sense, something like that. Yeah, somebody plausible. That's all. Yeah, Undertaker would have been interesting because that would have been a good way to put him over. He didn't have to win, but have him last to the final three. That would have been a good start for him. Would have been all right. Uh-oh, he freeze up again. He's been having internet problems, JPO. So a few things.
Sorry, I was gonna say I got a couple quick notes on the Rumble too.
Hold on, let me see if you can.
Hey, but we both I didn't even know.
Hey, yeah, there you go. Oh, let's do it. Hey, man. Maybe you subtly inspired me. Hey, there you go. Get it all around. There you go.
I didn't have much to add. So okay. You go.
Yeah, go ahead, JP. Yeah, JP, you got a couple of notes. Yeah, hit me.
I just want to throw out real quick. I don't know why I looked this up. Kind of a morose fact, but we're still mostly alive in this Rumble. 16 out of 30. Are alive.
Well, for a Rumble that was
early 90s.
For a Rumble that was 35 years ago, that's not that bad, actually.
Can you guys name the 5 still technically active competitors?
You mean technically active?
Okay.
So they've done something in the last year.
Haku for sure. I just saw a clip of him doing something recently. So Haku, I saw him do a tongue and death grip on somebody in an indie show, so that counts.
No. He's competed in a couple things in the last year, so yeah, he's cool.
Okay.
Warlord.
I mean,
Warlord's still doing some shit.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, do you say Taker if he's done like a chokeslam to somebody?
No. I'm saying like an active cage match, or not cage match, but cage match to the site. Yeah.
Okay. Let's think. Knobbs, maybe.
No, I don't think Knobbs has done anything in a while.
Okay.
What'd you say, Richie? I don't know if you said somebody.
He's dead.
Did Rick Martel? Has he done something?
Nah, Martel doesn't even evidently do like autograph signings much. He's very happy just chilling in, I think, Canada, I want to say.
Valentine's still around. I can see that guy still working a match. Has he done anything?
He did for a long time. But Valentine, I did double check. Hasn't done anything in a minute.
Okay.
But he was still rocking and rolling for a long time.
Did Austin say Hacksaw?
Valentine until 2019. No, Duggan unfortunately has had a bit of a health thing here and there.
Okay.
So he's done for sure.
Oh, Shane Douglas has got to be still working somewhere. Okay.
So he's still probably the most active. Like you could probably smoke him now. Like
Right.
Duggan also quit in 19 along with Valentine, evidently.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
think of racism.
It's Tony Atlas.
Tony Atlas still doing some shit here and there, man. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And then, while it barely counts, he still is in matches where the bell rings. Bushwhacker Luke, baby, still like
now
trot out, do a headbutt.
I didn't know. I didn't know he still working. I did work shows with Bushwhacker Luke at Pro Wrestling Riot.
Still doing it.
Sal's other promotion down there besides FIP they did for a while, Pro Wrestling Riot. I worked a bunch of those Riot shows, and we did shows with him. Yeah, where he'd be in like 6-man tags, that sort of thing. You know what I mean? Like comes in, does a thing, blah blah blah, whatever. Like
he's bumping, he's doing the gimmick, he's using somebody's head as a headbutt.
Yeah, no, 100%.
So, but still technically has competed in the last year.
No, Douglas makes sense. Yeah, he still works pretty frequently.
Yeah, I mean because he is also I would say one of the younger cats in this Rumble. So yeah,
makes sense. Hell yeah, cool. Sweet. No. Any other thoughts, Richie? Yeah. Overall thoughts on the show. Not a bad show. I was surprised. Yeah, especially those first 3 matches, all good. That opening Rockers Orient Express match is great. That Haas fight is fun. Yeah, Barbarian and Bossman is fun. And the Sergeant Slaughter Warrior match, not bad. A good crowd heat. Entertaining. Title match. Yeah, just kind of that middle portion of the show. Was kind of a little down of the show, but then the Royal Rumble was decent, for what it was. So not a bad show.
I have no complaints about the show really. Even the ones that were the only time fillers like your Jacques Joe and Coco Beware and your and stuff like that. Like I thought that it was perfectly fine. And yeah, it was a good show. And yeah, the Royal Rumble was what it was. It was maybe maybe a bit too predictable, but you get those, and sometimes predictable is good. Sometimes the predictable route is it's probably the best route they're going to for what they what they were wanting to. The big match would be Hogan and Slaughter, so obviously, so yeah, sometimes the predictable route is probably the best route, I guess. I think this event was pretty good. And yeah, I'm glad I watched it. So I don't think about it. I don't really one Rumble that much. Yeah.
Yeah, no, better show than I thought it'd be. So not bad. All right. Well, JPO is here now, so we can get to some other business. Now that we got this Royal Rumble out of the way, I say we start with some fantasy points because I am keeping track of the fantasy now. Jacob Barber has passed it off to me. He sent me his point system, so we're good to go. I've got the rosters in front of me. Got the results for our first SmackDown and our first Raw post roster draft. So let's see what we got. Starting with SmackDown. Unfortunately, JPO, your roster laid a goose egg on SmackDown. 0 points for SmackDown. You literally had not a single person on the show in a match, unfortunately. Sami Zayn, no match. Nothing for Jade Cargill or the Motor City Machine Guns, nothing like that. So, now, to be fair,
when Sammy wins the world title, goddammit, I'll come back.
to be fair, your roster is very Raw heavy. So points are going to come for Raw. You don't have a lot of people on SmackDown on your roster. So, but unfortunately, none of them on there. So no points for SmackDown. Sorry about that. Richie, you picked up 5 points from SmackDown, so a little bit better. You got a whole 5 points for the Wyatt 6 being involved in an 8-man tag. So you did get point, but on the losing effort. So there. And your roster is very Raw heavy as well. For the most part. So again, you're a little heavier on that one. But unfortunately, Chelsea Green or Randy Orton not having anything going on SmackDown. My lady Ronda picking up 40 points on SmackDown, doing quite well. So she got out to a good start on SmackDown, getting points for the Tongans, who actually were part of that 8-man tag, so that counts in a winning effort. She had Carmelo Hayes defending his title successfully, so that got her some decent points as well there, 20 points for that. And Alexa Bliss in a match as well, so picked up some points there. So 40 points from that. And myself, 75 points for SmackDown because I made a gamble and it paid off very, very well. Because if you recall, I drafted Drew McIntyre first, and that paid off very well. 40 points for Drew McIntyre alone on SmackDown for the main event title victory on SmackDown. So 40 big points for Drew McIntyre. And then I also had Cody Rhodes, who in the losing effort still got me 15 points just between the two of them. And then as well as Trick Williams picking up a win in a regular match. So 75 points. So I gambled on Drew, and it paid off to at least get me out in front right there. We'll see how that pans out over time. Now that he has the title, we'll see how many matches he actually has. But I gambled on that. Switching over to Raw, JPO did much better on Raw. You got 35 points for the Raw effort, so a little bit better there. A little bit better there. Penta having a match, Austin Theory in a match. You had Liv and Roxanne becoming the number one contenders, so winning that tag team match to become the number one contenders. So they'll be having a title match very soon. So I got some points there. And Penta also in a match. So some points all around. Richie picking up 5 points from Raw for a what was it? Was that? For Bailey being in a match. So that was it. So just Bailey being in a losing effort, but that was it for that one there. That's right. You also got something, I think a couple points for Javon Evans, in a match. He's a bouncy boy. Ronda picking up nothing from Raw, unfortunately. Obafemi, no matches. Nothing for Io Sky. Waiting to see. She's the champion, so they're waiting to see who comes up from that match. And then 45 points for me from Raw, picking up a little bit. I had Gunther and AJ Styles in that main event, so points for both of them, both in the wins and the losses. And then I had Asuka participating in that tag match there. So, some points all around for that one. So, your final tally at the end of the first week, Richie with 20 points to start things out the first week, JPO with 35 points, Ronda with 40, and myself out with 120 points to start out for the first week. So I gambled big on some of the people that just happened to be in main events. So it is what it is. But I mean, we'll see how that ends, because again, mine was very top heavy with people that were already in main events. So, we'll see how that pans out. They might be off TV just cutting promos next week, so I may not get much at all. So you guys have chances to recover there. So that is your standings after the first week. So there you go, and we'll see how it goes. I got a whole notebook. I'm just going to go page by page every week, so I can keep up with it very easily from one page to the next. So that's how it rolls. So from there, let's go ahead and roll into and catch up with the news and kind of the big story, I guess.
I got some stuff.
Yeah, no, I was going to say the big story coming out. I'll get to it, Richie. Hang on. The big story. We'll get there. The first big story that was kind of breaking in the last 24 hours is that Powerhouse Hobbs is going to WWE. Yes, we know. I'm going to get there. Yes, his contract is officially up.
There's a lot of comings and goings. We got to talk about.
Yeah, so that's kind of the big one, the most immediate one. They dropped the trios titles on Dynamite to Hangman Page and Jet Speed. But Hobbs dropping those titles, and it looks like he is WWE bound and heading there. So from all indications to the main roster, pretty quickly.
What's Brickhouse Hicks doing in the WWE?
Oh, no, you were talking so loud it broke up your voice. What'd you say? Yeah, it cut out for a second.
I said, what is? I just said Owen. I said, what is Brickhouse X doing in the WWE? So just mentioning this WWE name.
Oh, Brickhouse X. Okay.
Powerhouse.
Oh, you're talking about like what his alternate name is going to be? Okay, gotcha.
that was one of them.
All right. Your internet sucks tonight. JPO, do you have anything else on Hobbs?
I'm going to go back out, come back in, actually.
Okay, come back on. JPO, what else you got? Sorry. I know there's a couple of comings and goings, so yeah, start filling us in.
There's a lot to talk about comings and goings. Yeah. Are you
please,
Hobbs or?
Yeah, I mean, you start with Hobbs and then go to the other ones. Yeah, go ahead. Just get us going.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. Definitely will seem like a goodbye to Hobbs. Supposedly AEW tried to retain him, but we want to see where else he can kind of shake out, and it makes sense. Even his TNT title run, I felt like was kind of short, and didn't really go anywhere. So one of those guys. See if the grass is greener on the other side here. Lots of comings and goings here. TNA announced some retains. They have re-signed people like Nick Nemeth, Jody Threat, the hometown man. He ain't going nowhere. Cody Deaner, Mustafa Ali, BDE, Cedric Alexander, AJ Francis, among some others here. So some good signings there. I'm glad they were able to keep Nemeth and Mustafa, Cedric. Those are all really good talents. Obviously, the other big one, too, that's already announced on AEW, the Rascals, all four of them. Desmond Xavier, the more recent addition, Myron Reed, Zachary Wentz, and Trey Miguel have all left TNA. Kind of a surprise here, for I've been there for a little while. I mean, obviously, Xavier and Wentz went to NXT. Wentz came back to TNA. And then Xavier just returned, only a few months back as well. But yeah, all four already announced, the little promo on AEW. So yeah, they're all out the door and going to be here in the AEW soon. That's gonna be interesting. I think
that was quick, because you would have thought, as much as they were kind of doing stuff with TNA, if they would, you wondered if they were going to hang around and jump to like NXT, WWE, or maybe they just got a good enough offer from AEW. They just just thought they could.
Even Wentz was fighting, on NXT not that long ago, and Xavier was in a contract. But I mean, I could see Xavier at the very least being like, well, obviously WWE doesn't want me, so let's see where AEW goes. And because I had heard supposedly the rumors, one of them was like definitely done, and then like they were able to make it where all four of them just got signed at once. So I'm interested. I think they're all four really good here. Trey Miguel had a really good X Division title run by himself for a little while there. Xavier shows some really good stuff over in NXT, so that's gonna be interesting to see where that goes. Killer Kelly, who's actually the wife of Myron Reed now, she's also gone from TNA as well, so might see where she pops up. And kind of spoiler warning for where we're talking about Impact here in a little bit, but it looks like Inspiration might have been wrapped up tonight as well. They're on the way out, so who knows if they're returning to WWE or where else they might pop up. But it does look like their time with TNA may be done for the time being. AEW, well, they're losing Hobbs. They did definitely lock down both Persephone, Masquerada Dorada, and I kind of thought this was already official, but now it's really official. Hechicero is indeed hashtag all elite. And then also posted a bit of a teaser that the Butcher and Blade, I didn't even know they were still under contract, but Butcher and Blade might be returning soon. I guess Butcher was hurt, so they've been kind of waiting off on them. Blade had a little bit of a singles run for a little bit, like a year or so ago, but yeah, Butcher and Blade probably coming back to TV sometime sooner than later. And then also USA did renew Braun Strowman's Everything on the Menu, so Strowman still got a job. Also, shout out to Strowman, had a car accident this week, got rear-ended, but said he walked away pretty fine, just a little bruise. So good. So two good pieces of good news. Well, kind of a bad news, but good news that he walked away fine. Good news that the show got.
You know what? It's one of those. It's like on Seinfeld when he was Even Steven. One bad thing, but one good thing. You even out. With the two.
Yeah. So, you guys want to hear about Impact?
Yeah, please. I didn't see it, so we were talking about Royal Rumble. So you're welcome to anything noteworthy. Yes, please let us.
Yeah. I'll go down it really quick here. I made some notes here. First, packed crowd from Dallas, so give them credit here. Crowd looked pretty full and whatnot, and they were pretty into it. AJ Styles starts off the show. They use his old school TNA theme, so that was kind of fun to hear that again. Nothing really special to say. He even kind of said, "I'm going to be short and sweet," so very much a welcome to the show, and that's about it. And then Elijah, Elias, formerly Elijah. Wait, no, Elijah, formerly Elias. I fucked it up. There you go. Whose gimmick hasn't changed. Still the guy with the guitar. He's about to introduce his partners for the night, the Hardy Boys. And then the app crashed.
No.
Literally, as soon as you did it, and then they're gonna get it to work.
So you were watching. To clarify, you were watching it on the AMC Plus app live.
So I went to TNA because the pay-per-view is Saturday.
App. Okay, gotcha.
So the pay-per-view is not going to be on AMC because otherwise you could save technically a few bucks. You can do it on AMC Plus, which you can technically do for $5 with I think ads, or the no ads for 10. So I was going to do that, but since the pay-per-view is on Saturday and that's included, it did make more sense to do it this way. That way I'm not double dipping, kind of in a way on TNA. I would end up spending more that way. So I don't know if AMC had better luck. I didn't look too hard into that, but I know the TNA app. I looked on Twitter. I was definitely not alone, and like, God damn it, they can't even see the opener.
Well, I mean, it might have been one of those things where they weren't ready for, I guess, maybe the amount of people tuning in with the bandwidth.
Yeah,
the
and even WWE, like their first like Netflix and stuff like that. So it's a good sign in a way that there obviously was more viewers than before because TNA has gone live on that app before. This is not the first rodeo. They've been live previously a few times. So yeah, hopefully people are watching. Hopefully no one got to dissuade from tuning in the future. That's my only fear here. I tried going back too because finally it did come up. But I guess the feed was so wonky. Maybe they'll fix it in replay. But yeah, I wasn't even able to watch the match even in like replay yet.
Well, so, I mean, if it was that widespread of a problem, you can imagine they're probably going to address it this week and try to up the bandwidth and whatnot. And
hopefully,
out. And then at least it wasn't during.
Give me a free month because you.
But at least it wasn't during a pay-per-view, so that's at least something. You know what I mean? At least it was in the middle of
during the AMC.
I know.
So yeah, I don't know how the match was. The Hardys and they do win. Now I saw the end of it here. The Righteous then attack them. They'll be fighting on the pay-per-view. Righteous versus the Hardys. They handcuffed Jeff's earlobe to the to the rope, which I think Randy Orton like fucked with him on that one time. Very very gnarly because it looks like it's gonna snap.
Yeah,
I know. Sami Zayn did that in the ladder match.
Okay, Sammy, I might be thinking of that then. Yeah,
I think I
remember that he did that gimmick before.
I think Jeff has said he stretched that thing out so much that you can do that and it doesn't actually hurt him.
Okay, that makes sense.
Like numb to it.
Yeah, and it looks gnarly.
Yeah, but he's had things where it's like been hanging down. So like it's one of those things where it doesn't actually like it's kind of just like
it's numb. I'm sure
it's more show than it actually hurts. Yeah,
it's fine. That's what I mean. Like we've seen it before, but it's always kind of cool to see.
Yeah, for sure.
Little bit of an interesting backstage. AJ Styles, Kazarian, a little bit of a face off. AJ does the little look at the title, maybe. So a little possible foreshadow there. Hey, WrestleMania, you got nothing on TNA on AMC because we got the stars tonight. The stars from Dark Winds. Anyone seen Dark Winds on AMC?
No.
RJ Cyler was there. He was from Power Rangers. He's in the new movie with CM Punk, Night Patrol. Candice Michelle. Don't know why Candice Michelle was there, but she was there. They threw her out there too.
RJ Cyler was also in that stand-up TV show. Or was it the?
Well, yeah, I'm dying up here. Well, yeah, I mean, we keep going. He was in Emergency. He was in. There's also random like wrestlers in the crowd too, so that was kind of funny if they weren't booked. Like they just showed Eric Young looking all mad in the crowd. AJ Francis was in the crowd. Mara Sade. They're gonna book Mara Sade versus Ryan Nemeth for the pay-per-view, so intergender match on the pay-per-view. Santino comes out. He introduces the new, I don't know, it's like a co-GM, I'm guessing, basically. Daria Ray, who is Sonya Deville. Sonya Deville is back on television here. She returns to screens for the first time in a while here. She starts off by congratulating Santino and all the great things TNA has done, and says there's only one problem. You, Santino. So she's healed right away. And then she brings out the newest signing of hers, which is Elena Black, formerly Cora Jade from NXT. So Elena Black is now in Impact full time. She dipped a little bit during the NXT TNA stuff a few months ago. AJ tells Santana to take out Kazarian. We then have probably my least favorite segment of the night, just because I gotta think you could have done something more for your first episode of AMC, which is a long segment by the Elegance brand. This is the former Dana Brooks brand of people here. They debut. Well, first they had Perez Hilton. Remember that blogger who was hot like 15, 20 years ago?
Yeah, he was the hottest celebrity blogger of
God.
2010. Yeah, great.
Yeah. Honestly, you might be giving him too much credit for 10. But
Maybe.
yeah.
Maybe. I just remember people were still talking. My sister like went to his blog for a while, like every day, but that was like
no, I mean
in the
dude
late
was a thing for a minute. He was
in the late 2000s though, like 20 years ago, 15, 20 years ago.
No,
tops.
I mean like
yeah.
If you had told me the dude like just retired and is now running a Target, I would have believed you because I haven't heard that name in a minute.
Yeah.
So he was there. Whatever. I guess it kind of fits the brand, but again, to give him TV time on such an important episode, and they introduced the Mr. Elegance. They've been hyping that for weeks here. It's a guy from OVW that I wasn't even aware of. I think they said I found out his name was AJZ, but he just goes by Mr. Elegance in TNA. We finally get the tag title match here. The Elegance brand does pick it up. They defeat the previously mentioned Inspiration. As I said, looks like they're wrapping up their time here. So new Knockouts tag champions, about 9 minutes here. We have Zarya and Sal Ruka look on because they'll be facing, or maybe facing for the Knockouts tag title soon, depending on their match next week. Let's see here. Some Genesis updates too. I guess there's some visa issues. So a couple big changes to this weekend here. Unfortunately, Danny Palmer cannot make Genesis, so they do an open challenge. Zarya ends up accepting it. So it's Zarya looking for the TNA Knockouts Championship against Li Ying Lee, the former Xia Li, on Saturday. And also, unfortunately, Leon Slater will not make it either. So there is no X Division Championship match on Saturday. And yeah,
he might not make it because I think WWE wants him to be part of the UK tour. That was the idea. That they might have
No. That was for a different match. That was for a match he was supposed to have with Myron Reed that got scrapped. This is because of the visa.
That probably got scrapped for two reasons. Because Myron, they're like, he's going to verse Myron Reed. Also Myron Reed signed with AEW. Okay.
Again, no. I think that's. I don't think that is one thing to do with the other. Because I mean, they kind of knew that they weren't signed a contract. In fact, Reed and Xavier weren't even under contracts recently. Just Wentz and Miguel, because they still use the Rascals till their last second here for the most part. So Moose will be stepping into that. I'm sorry, Moose is already in that three-way with Cedric Alexander and say his name, Joe Hendry. So Joe Hendry will be in a kind of a random three-way now with Moose and Cedric Alexander, which sucks. That match actually would have been better with Leon Slater. Yeah, I said it. The system come out, of course. Saturday is also the last ever match of Fandango, which I'm starting to think is bullshit. I think he's about to pull a Mark Henry. That's kind of my small prediction here. I'm actually starting to sniff some bullshit. They bring out Dixie Carter, who gets mostly booed.
Of course.
Why would you do
that? Why? Just why?
And she lives in Texas.
Yeah.
Hey guys, remember when you almost stopped watching last time? Let's bring out one of the reasons.
Remember the person who brought in Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff? Boo!
Yeah. Why did they bring out Ed Bischoff? Yeah, come on. Here's Bischoff and Brian Knobs, everybody. So that was kind of funny. She mostly got booed. Bully Ray was there for commentary, and yes, indeed, once again, your world champion Mike Santana defeats Kazarian in under 17 minutes to win the world title. I say to the very last second, no Jericho, no big thing, just Santana wins. That's how the night closes off. So Santana again is your champion here. Okay, episode here. I like Corey Jade. That's a cool signing. Sonny Deville, kind of whatever. Don't care about the elegance thing. That just could have been a different week. Is my only thing. Like, give the time to something else. Hey, that X Division everyone loves? Maybe give me an X Division match. Like, I don't know if this was a great hey, if you don't know what TNA is, this will make you come back next week to a degree. Okay episode, not great. Only 3 matches. Only could see 2 of them.
That is such a TNA thing, though, that they add. I know what happens. It happens to other promotions, but the fact that TNA has had technical issues all throughout their 20+ year existence is quite fun. I would constantly have technical issues even when I was watching, but a couple of years ago. So I don't know. Just of course it would happen to I don't know. It's like. Yeah, and it wouldn't be TNA without some. I don't know. Why would you even? I don't know. This is I might go back and watch it. I don't even know how I'm gonna watch it, but I'll probably go and watch it. But like, there are still at the end of the day, there's still like booking issues with TNA, and it's cool that Cora Jade's there though, Elena Black. But I didn't think she was into wrestling anymore because considering she's making a lot of money on OnlyFans.
She did take a step back. I don't think she's actually wrestled in a couple months. She did say she's gonna take a step back once she kind of figured out her future, which I think is kind of just more or less meant like I don't want to do indies. See if anyone signs me. And it looks like TNA did. So, yeah, because she actually wrestled in 6 months. She hasn't wrestled since July. Actually, I didn't think it was that long.
Yeah, so be cool. But yeah, I don't know. Are you gonna watch week to week? Not for a wrap up, not for like a recap or anything. Just saying you're gonna watch.
Oh yeah, no. I know we don't always go over it like that. It's kind of not because it's the AMC premiere. Just kind of give some rundown of it. It depends. You know, I have the app for obviously another 3 weeks. So whether I'll re-up it, I don't know. We'll see. But if I remember and have time, yeah, because like I said, I didn't mind it. My own thing was I just thought they could have really done better. Like I didn't mind anything on the episode other than the technical difficulties. Didn't see the first match because they still have a good roster here. The 2 matches that were there were decent. But again, it just felt like the third match was just like, all right, cool. We're back to where we should have been. We're kind of back to where we should have never left, which is just a good Santana run. So like even that's kind of a bit of a whimper-ish. And then like I said, you could have done something besides the elegant stuff. And I couldn't see the first match, so yeah, it was kind of a mid one, unfortunately.
I'm like a pretty sure like order was like Ash by against kind of like a promo saying like, oh, I guess that talking about the people who are leaving, like, oh, I guess some people can cut it on like mainstream TV, and like that's an interesting thing to say. But yeah, I know it's a character, but it's an interesting thing to say for people that you're about to leave to actually go on probably bigger are actually going to get bigger TV. But anyway, just thought it was a interesting thing to bring up. But yeah, I don't know whether sort of like a work shoot thing. I don't know.
Yeah. Quick shout out too. Next week and on NXT, some qualifying matches for the big ladder match because the NXT title is indeed vacated. Josh Briggs will take on Shiloh Hill, and definitely a huge shout out for me for Sean Legacy versus Eli Knight. Eli Knight is one of my boys from RPW alumni, and so great to seeing him doing awesome stuff here. Much earned for Eli Knight. He's someone to watch as well.
Can I? Was he Eli Knight in the Indies?
Yeah, that name actually never changes. Yeah, as far as I know.
I just find that he's an amalgamation of like LA Knight's ring names, Eli Drake and LA Knight. So
that's funny. Yeah. He might even like predate technically one of those, but I can see them changing that if he ever got to the main roster because I don't know if you're gonna have 2 nights, but yeah.
Yeah, it's so it just felt like a name that he would come up with, but like Eli, but it's just a name.
Oh yeah, Eli Knight since 2018. Yeah.
Cool. I know, like, and they've called up a few people to fill that gets void from people where they've called up. So I know Keanu Carver, who was cool, and Evolve is going to do stuff on NXT.
Yeah, they even showed like a thing of him like signing a contract with Ava. So yeah, he's called up. They made him look like a monster this past Tuesday, Keanu.
Yeah, I like him. He's cool. So yeah, that's cool. So you gotta replenish your talent. I got other things that might kind of tie into people who are bringing talent. I'll get that full list here, but there's been like tryouts for people. I don't know if you got anything more. Do you?
No, whatever. No, I'm good.
The only thing I had is I did confirm, and I even saw it on Fandango listed that if you wish to watch the Royal Rumble in a movie theater, they are once again doing that in the movie theater. So some tickets are already on sale. They're listing a start time in the theater of 2:00, even though all the articles I saw said the actual show starts at 3 Eastern, noon Pacific. So it might just be a thing where they say 2:00 at the start time, and then that's still just part of the pre-show, I guess, or the kickoff show. And the actual main card starts at 3. But yeah, if you want to watch it in the theater and want to watch that instead of I guess watching it on the VPN, Netflix, and whatnot, or which is where I guess we'll have to try to watch it without the ESPN gimmick. Try to do that. So I was trying to click on and see how much it's going for, if it would be worth it. Even it might be. Let's see.
I felt like they were expensive last time, but I haven't looked up this one.
So let me click on this one. Let's see. Just click on one. Wow, fairly expensive. About as expensive as a month of the app. $26.75 general admission.
I was gonna say $28 was gonna be my guess because that's how
much they're looking for. 26 is
probably
tax or whatever. So probably even after tax, close to $30. So it's about what a month of that ESPN.
Yeah, no, they treat it as like a special event. They don't treat it like just your
like
normal $10, $15 movie.
Yeah. So okay, I mean it's an option, but yeah, it's out there.
So there's a couple of people who are scheduled for a tryout soon. A couple of notable names. One name, former TNA wrestler Richie Goodacre, who was he had a run here for a couple of years ago. He's actually, this sentence sounds. He was trained under Great Khali. I don't know if Great Khali was ever trained. He was also trained by Scott D'Amore. They probably got more out of that. He only left in 2004. He was there from 2022 to 2004. So he's got to try out. There's a Phoenix Diana, who she's a sort of Arab wrestler. She her most high profile wrestling match was she lost her House of Glory championship to Mercedes Moné in November, and she was part of that Bailey sort of female training camp that she did recently. Probably the most notable name, if you pay attention to like the Indies and big names in the Indies, Starboy Charlie is a name that's quite quite big in the Indies now. He's one half of the West Coast Pro Tag Team Champions with Titus Alexander. He also worked for Pro Wrestling Noah, and he had appeared on Collision earlier last year in a trio squash match against the Ops, and LeBron Cazone, who was featured in Deadlock Pro Wrestling, RIP, and ended was the promotion's final world champion and national champion. And other indie talents. Don't know if you'll know half of these, but tribes are Manny Lowe, Jimmy House, Blade Brown, Tyler Jordan, Bruce Hamilton, and Jake Pasquale. So there's a couple of names I recognize there.
Happy birthday, Shane McMahon, 56 today.
You said there was a TNA pay-per-view this Saturday. Any noteworthy matches on that thing this week?
Yeah, you have the rematch of Frank Kazarian versus Mike Santana
already. Yeah, so 2 days after.
They announced. They announced like whoever lost was going to get an automatic rematch. So
I see.
That is happening here. Let's see. I can pull it up real quick here.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Elijah, the former Alliance, will take on Mustafa Ali. They've been building up to that for a little bit here. The triple threat match is now Moose versus Cedric Alexander versus Joe Hendry, replacing Leon Slater. The final Fandango match, Johnny Dango Curtis taking on Eddie Edwards, his buddy, billed as the final dance. A grudge match between AJ Francis and Rich Swann, the Hardys and the Righteous for the tag team titles. Li Ying Li versus, what did I say it was? Zarya. Yeah, because the website actually hasn't updated yet, so I actually had to replace these from memory now. Yeah, so Li Ying Li versus Zarya for the Knockouts title. So those are now your matches here. Yeah, not an expensive one. Like I said, I can get it for the app for $10 along with all the impacts and the archives.
Yeah, the only thing I had, tomorrow night on SmackDown, they have those qualifying matches for the four-way. That'll be at Saturday night's main event. All the winners will go on to the four-way, and the winner of that at Saturday night's main event will face Drew McIntyre at the Rumble. So yeah, the matches lined up for SmackDown: Randy Orton versus The Miz. You got Damian Priest versus Solo Sikoa. That's a meaty match. You got Sami Zayn versus Ilya Dragunov. That should be fun. Matt Cardona versus Trick Williams. So we'll see where that goes. And then also Carmelo Hayes bringing back the U.S. title open challenge. So quite a few matches already announced for SmackDown. But yeah, all the winners of those matches go on to Saturday night's main event, a four-way to see who faces Drew. So there you go.
Yeah, I was gonna say, also we in general just talked about how Drew's the new champ.
Yeah, no, yeah, Drew. I mean, kind of during the fantasy, but yeah, not really like the actual match.
Yeah, pretty big win there.
Yeah, Drew in that 3 stages of hell, featuring 1 stage of hell of a normal match, normal rules. Yeah, at least do false count anywhere, something, no DQ, anything, just something, anything. I don't know, just yeah, silly. I don't know, but I mean, I don't mind them ending on this cage, but yeah, that's
Ring of Honor did a thing one time, or a few times actually. I think they called it Ultimate Endurance, and it was kind of that idea, but it would start off normal, and then it was like no DQ, and then maybe a cage or something like that. But at least like this, just when you say 3 stages of hell, like you definitely allude to it's 3 hardcore stages, not and first one's pinfall.
Yeah. Yeah.
But rules, yeah.
But no close fists on hell.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I was gonna ask, like, we did like the sort of fantasy update, but are we doing any switches?
Oh yeah, I was gonna ask if anybody wanted to do it. I mean, I don't imagine after the first week, but if you guys want to,
I will.
Yeah, it was hurt.
Yeah, I mean, there's nobody like really out with injuries after the first week, but I mean, okay, we'll formally go through it. Richie, you're in last place. Would you like to make any switches?
I'm tempted. Yes.
Are you really? Okay.
Because Jacob Fatu came back.
Fair enough.
From injury, and I don't know. I think I panicked when I said El Grande Americano. He's probably just going to do more on Triple A. So I'm going to formally make Jacob Fatu.
Hold on. Is Richie the first to go though this week? Who gets to?
Richie only has 20 points. He's in last place after the first week.
Okay, fine. I just want to make sure because I was going to check.
Yes, no, it is the last person. He is in last, so technically, yes.
Fine.
If he wants to burn one right now, immediately, he has the right to do so.
I didn't want to be last because of that reason. I was like, see, get Jacob.
I mean, he doesn't have a match announced for SmackDown, but you still taking him? Okay,
I know, but he will have more matches. He'll have more matches. I feel like El Grande Americano will probably just have more so matches on like Triple A.
Watch them announce El Grande versus somebody on Raw this week, like the next day or two, and they'll be like, "Oh,
for the IC title, and he's the new champ."
Yeah, he's like, son of a bitch. All right, well, you're making it official. So El Grande gone already for Jacob Fatu. Okay, fair enough. You have every right to do so. So, well, I mean, he did it. So JPO, you're in third place. Would you like to swap somebody out right now?
Nah, I can't think of anyone yet. No, I'm good.
I mean, all your people are working. Don will be back by the Rumble, so I think you'll be fine.
Yeah,
you're good right now.
A little bit of
he'll be back.
Yeah.
No. He was a minor injury, but by all indications, he'll be back at least in the Rumble, so you'll be fine. Ronda doesn't want to make his switches, and I'm good. So yeah. I mean, the only person still on the table, I think that nobody's taken, I guess, would be the next pick if somebody does make one is Bronson Reed, because I mean, homeboy's working, nobody took him. So I mean, we'll see. But yeah, there should be some points coming up for that SmackDown. Ronda has Matt Cardona, Carmelo Hayes, and Damian, so she'll probably have a good SmackDown. She'll have 3 people in matches, including a Carmelo defense.
I told JPO, I feel bad for like Matt because like he just came back, he got a win, and then like he's probably not going to beat Trick Williams, you think? So like, he's going to win straight away.
I'm only going to be cool. I'm going to be cool with it if that leads to a heel turn. That's my hope.
Okay.
Maybe I'm over hoping, but we'll see.
Yeah. I don't think I'm gonna have as prosperous of a SmackDown. I mean, Trick will probably win his match. I don't know if Ilya will. Ilya probably won't win against Sammy. Sammy will probably go on to that Saturday nights, but at least have a match. At least get something. JPO again, like I said, the only thing about your roster is it's very Raw heavy. So if you want to consider that for the future, you pretty much just have Sammy and like Jade Cargill and the guns, the Motor Machine Guns, and that's about it. Everybody else is on Raw.
It wasn't by design, but that's probably the problem. I didn't really think about it.
Yeah, no, it's all good. But I mean, you could have some Raw heavy, some point heavy Raws, in the future. So you could make up some lost time there. And if your people get on pay per view, again, the Rumble is good because almost all of our rosters will probably be in the Rumble, so that'll at least get you points. I mean, I'd imagine most of our people, on both sides, male and female, will most likely be in the, there's 30 people in those Rumbles. We'll probably all at least have people there racking up points. So, and I figure at least some of us, I think, at least have favorites. I think Sammy's definitely a dark horse to win. You have people like Braun Breaker, who could be a dark horse as well. Jacob Fatu, Randy Orton, could be somebody that could pull that one out. You could always have like a Gunther and AJ, something like that. So you never know, what's going to come out of that. So, or if they decide to go with the Cody, win it 3 times, that could always happen. Who knows?
I'm not keen on that.
I'm not keen on it, but they could go for it just to get him up there. You never know. So, but everybody will probably in there if I had to guess. So, most of these people will be around for that. Especially the women, they'll use just about everybody on their roster for that women's Rumble. So I'm not worried about any of us not getting our females in there, other than the champ, whoever the champ might not be in that Rumble, obviously. But other than that, I think you're good. So that's always a prosperous one for points. So that's why we do it right before the Rumble. But yeah, so no, I think we're good there. So yeah, no, I mean, I think picking up Fatu, he'll probably have his first big match in the next couple of weeks, I'm sure, and then he'll get going again. So they definitely reintroduced him. We'll see what happens. He could have a match on Saturday night's main event. You never know. Which that is that's on the 24th, by the way, not this Saturday, but next Saturday. It'll be the Saturday before the Rumble. So we'll see what comes out of that. But yeah, it's a little after midnight here. We're bumping up on that 2-hour mark, unless you guys have any other notes or things, pressing issues, anything? No. All right. No. All right. Cool. Well, let's get the plugs and parting words, and we'll get out of here for the evening. So, Richie, anything you want to throw out there? What you got?
We just before we go on here, talk about Mortal Kombat. It was a fun time, and next time we'll actually spin the wheel. So I know that's been replenished recently. So,
stuff.
Not that I needed to. Let's put in thousands on that. I mean, anyway.
We could spin Hunter X and have JPO on as a special guest. That's always a possibility now that it's on the wheel. So we could do a deep dive on that, and he could give all the behind the scenes.
If a movie comes up and you all go, "What is this?" It's a JPO.
It's a JPO wild card.
I'm gonna have to get you to. I don't know how I'm gonna watch that though. We'll see what.
It's on Tubi, motherfucker.
Oh, it's on Tubi. Sometimes Tubi libraries aren't like.
You don't own the DVD. You don't own the DVD like I do? Shame on you, bro.
Come
What's wrong with you? Order that shit. It's on Amazon.
I'll order it for Hunter X, which will probably spin.
Oh yes, Hunter X has been on. It's been on Tubi for like a year, bro. Where you been?
Tubi libraries are different. Like what's on Tubi.
Hey. It's also gone down in price on DVD. It's $6 and it's yours at your front door on Amazon.
I bought it the first week it was out for $10. Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, that's even
better. All right.
And the DVD does have bonus features. Have you ever watched the bonus features, Fez?
I have not, but if it comes up on the wheel, I promise I will. I will.
You honestly should, just for the hell of it, because there's a bonus feature of me falling asleep and them yelling at me. Jordan, what?
You had one job.
There's a lot of downtime, man, in filming. There's a lot of downtime on the fucking.
That's what I hear.
The goddamn shot already.
Where's my trailer? I want to take a nap. Damn it.
And what sucks is it's during that like montage, like that. There's a montage in the film that was literally at one point a whole feature thing. So like when I first watched the edit, I was like, we spent days on those 3 minutes. Son of a bitch.
There you go. Hey, I promise if it comes up on the wheel, we'll have you on and we'll actually review it. I promise we'll do it.
Yeah.
I'll say
yes. I got a couple of funny stories.
Sure, yeah.
No rush. Jaws 19. I just saw that.
Yeah. Oh, good. Just like I'm on Aaron Canal's doing a panel thing on Saturday. Just some movies with I think Jacob Barber's on there, Will Cohen, a couple other people. So yeah, we'll be just shooting shit in there. So check that out.
Well, I'm on Friday and Sunday, so screw your Saturday panel.
Both days, but fuck you. Give me one.
Although I like that Saturday panel. How do I get on Saturday?
maybe you could jump on the week after when I'll be on with him. Maybe you could jump on that one.
Hey.
So, yeah.
We're all gonna get a bit of canal in our lives.
Yeah. God damn that! If I include that, I have like 12 nights of shows in a row. That's gonna suck. That's gonna suck. This next week, I'm gonna be in front of my computer every night. Because I was like, oh, there's nothing for Thursday. Oh wait, Lonely Marks. We always do that. And well, actually, instead of Lonely Marks, we might be doing a short Lonely Marks and doing a countdown instead. I don't know. We talked about that. Maybe.
We can talk about that off air.
We'll talk about that off air. Yeah, whatever. We'll talk. But regardless. Okay, anyways, JPO, what you got going on? I hear, pray tell, you're in the middle of some kind of tournament. What's going on with that?
Yeah. We're still filming matches. I think we just had Tato versus Alec in the yearly 2026 singles tournament for movie trivia. Check that out because we're filming matches all the time here. We've got Steve Mason versus Jacob Cameron coming up soon. And even outside this tournament, we're still doing stuff outside the tournament. In fact, Pez, aren't you fighting with your partner, John the Card, tomorrow?
Yeah,
that'll be Milwaukee Beers.
Right after tournament fights, I got to stay on my computer and do some trivia. So we'll be a late night. Yeah. ASAT after dark. Yeah,
after dark. Oh god.
Oh man. All right.
If John's snarky during during light, how about after dark?
Right.
So always stay tuned for that happening there. And then all those other shenanigans. Saturday I might do a rank it, which is like rank 'em, but I call it rank it, and we're gonna do a top sequels, number 2s.
Okay. Isn't that what won the poll for rank 'em?
Yeah. Well, I didn't get invited, and I wanted to be on, so now I'm myself a night before.
I would ask to be on, but I've got a double dose of stuff with Wolfman that night, so I'm going to be very preoccupied and busy Saturday night, the whole fucking night, and I'm going to be drunk by the end of it. So
I'm doing it early at 6.
No, because I can't, because I got to watch Texas Chainsaw 3D, and then we're doing our horror wrap-up show at 8, starting off with that, so a big catching up on the horror movies of 2025, and then running right into the monthly mistake for Texas Chainsaw 3D right after that. So we're doing a double dose on his channel that night. So now I'm going to be busy, and I got to watch the movie before that. So no, I guess you do. I appreciate that. We over on the Movie Hero Network, we got our honorable mentions podcast Sunday night. So we'll just be talking about movies that deserve some more love. A little shout out, from 2025 that maybe didn't make our top 12, but we thought were really, really good, really fun. So that's just kind of a casual discussion. It'll be a good time. And then our actual 2025 tournament, the 3-part ladder series tournament, will start on Monday. Part 1, Wednesday, part 2, obviously Friday with the championship. So kicking off all the shenanigans. And then these two guys next to me will be back the following Sunday on the 25th to do our final top 12 of 2025 podcast. So wrapping up the year, and that'll put the kibosh on the 2025 festivities. So and then we'll look ahead to 2026. So see what's going on. Hopefully 28 years later the Bone Temple is good. Gonna see it tomorrow. So
I may have done something really dumb. Anyone know what Kalashi is?
No.
It's a betting app. So even though I'm very broke right now, let's just say I have money riding on that Rotten Tomato score. So please stay high, because JPO's gonna be a very sad boy.
You bet on a Rotten Tomato score? Oh no!
I also bet that Ethan Hawke's gonna get Oscar nominated. Please, Ethan Hawke. Please.
Jesus. Well, okay.
Well,
Okay. What's the line that you have to stay above for that for the Rotten
It's
Tomatoes?
got to stay above 90, and it's at 94.
Now, it's at 94.
I think
Well,
it's possible,
but
and I only got like 3 more days. I think I get it through the weekend is what I need to get.
But it is 94 with 172 reviews already. So to be fair, when it gets above about 100 or 150, it doesn't fluctuate that much.
Yeah.
So many. So I think you'll be
I didn't
steady.
make like crazy bets. I made just a couple to get literally just a few bucks, but I will lose more than I'll gain, obviously.
It would only go down significantly if they all of a sudden had like 50 negative reviews. I think you'll be fine.
So
come on, usually once it gets above 100, it'll hold within a couple of percentage points of whatever.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely in the majority, or I'm in the more likeliness.
But, that's the first time knowing that you could bet on Rotten Tomatoes scores.
You can.
That's bizarre.
You don't know
any WWE bet sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay. You don't know at least 5-10 Rotten Tomatoes critics who could spite you and just review bomb
it. Dan Skip Allen's mad at me. He's like, "Oh, I'm fucking giving it an F right now."
Yeah, he's like a horror movie, 0 stars. Because he's shit on every horror movie so far this year, which is like
that sounds like he hasn't seen a sitcom in the last decade. Every time we talk TV, it's all serious stuff, and I'm just here to talk about sitcoms. And I'm like, watch a sitcom, Dan. Laugh every once in a while, buddy.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, that's.
You haven't seen Shogun? No, I was watching Parks and Rec. Fuck off.
I was watching reruns of The Office. What do you want from me? Yeah.
Dark enough. I want comedy.
Yeah, I need comedy in this life. All right, let's wrap it up there. We'll talk about some stuff off air, but we'll be back next week. We'll see. We might be like a quick brief show. We'll see, or I don't know. We'll figure it out and see what we're doing next week, and maybe a countdown as well. So we'll wrap it up there for tonight. So we'll see you guys next time. For JPO, for Richie, I'm Pez, and we'll see you guys next time on Loading Works.